day 2 at Europa Park, and theme park mark weather is here. It's raining this morning. I checked the forecast too. 0 rain in the forecast. So this is what 0 rain looks like, I guess. Should be clearing up, I think. And then another rain little pocket should be coming in about midday. But don't think that changes the plans. Still gonna take the little train on over to the Spain area, where I'll probably be doing Atlantica SuperSplash. Might as well if it's still gonna be raining. Then Wodan and Bluefire to start the day. And I'll probably do the Spain flat rides before moving on back to the front of the park. Probably get undercover here in a second because it's, you know, a little bit testing silverstar. Was woken up in the middle of the night at the hotel by a fire alarm going off and everybody having to be evacuated. It turned out to be I think the air conditioning in the room a couple of doors down from where I was. Personally, I turned it on and I guess it set off the alarm for the whole place. They had to change rooms. I was still a little concerned. I was like, do I need to change rooms too? But no, I guess not. I'll walk on this side. Yeah, still got some decent rest anyway. So I'm ready to go. I'll probably run Silverstar again later today, assuming the weather does clear up. But yeah, let's head on in. Europa Park, day 2. And it's about 8:50 right now, so the park's gonna open in about 10 minutes, and they're probably already letting people in, so let's head on in. It's funny that I did check the footage from the wettest log flume I've ever been on yesterday, and the POV actually turned out pretty well. I mean, the sound kind of went out a little bit towards the second half there, but yeah, I mean, that was absolutely crazy. The first, I couldn't see it in the video because I turned my head. But yeah, I took a big splash of water right to the chest after that first drop. And then, yeah, going under the waterfall and also getting sprayed by the people with the guns as well. Yeah, that was an extremely wet log flume. And it was not that wet last year, but of course I rode it in March. And it was somewhat of a cold day, so nobody with a gun. I don't remember the waterfall at all. And definitely didn't get splashed on the first drop either. So luckily POV turned out okay, and the glasses are still fine. They're actually in my pocket right now while it's raining, so I'm kind of protecting them, keeping them dry as much as I can. Yeah, let's head on in, Europa Park. Alright, it's 8:55. I'm in. Let's have a quick ride on the Panoramabahn over to the Spain station. I'm guessing this is probably not going to leave for another 5 minutes or so. I spoke too soon, 8:56, and I'm the last to board actually, so I think we might actually be leaving here a little bit early, which is actually kind of nice. Yep, we are moving. It's 4 minutes before the park actually opens. That is awesome. Actually, great timing. It's the other train.
Bitte bleiben Sie sitzen, bis der Zug steht.
Arthur Alright, well, if it's still raining, I might just start with the 2 flat rides here in Spain. I'll step out and take a look. Yeah, I think it is still raining. We'll probably start with Kolumbusjolle and then Feria Swing. Yeah, it's still raining a little bit, so I'll have a couple flat rides to start the day here. So we'll start with Kolumbusjolle. It's a ship ride. You can kind of control the turning of it, which is actually very cool. So let's start with a ride on this. Whew, I'm dizzy after that one. Yeah, I guess you can go backwards pretty much the whole ride, but I kind of like going sideways a little bit on that. Alright, the Matterhorn next, I think. It's called Feria Swing, so let's have a ride. Those are the 2 flat rides here in Spain. So that was Feria Swing and Kolumbusjolle, the 2 flat rides here in the Spain area. I do think I like the Columbus one a little bit better, but they're both very well themed. I'm gonna continue on to Atlantica SuperSplash right now. It's still drizzling a little bit, but I think I'm okay with riding that. I'm gonna get wet anyway on that water coaster, so might as well have a ride on that next, and that is in this general direction. You got the log flume that soaked me yesterday, Tyrol log flume, and then you got the powered coaster in there as well. And that well-themed area. Well, this whole Spanish plaza. Probably having a meal here at some point, either today or on my last day here. So stationed here for the EP Express. I'll be taking that back over to the Germany area after I'm done in this area with the 3 coasters that I still need to ride. All right, here's Atlantica SuperSplash. Doesn't look too popular this morning, but I think it's actually a pretty good time to ride it. So I'm getting wet anyway because of the rain, so might as well have a quick ride on this. This looks like it might be a Zen ride. Zen ride I never thought I would have. Like a SuperSplash. Let's go for a back row ride, Atlantica SuperSplash. Stay on. There. Okay, we're good. Alright, Atlantica SuperSplash. Mock rides, power splash. If I'd waited for the front row, then they probably would have had to exit. Then I would have had a true Zen ride, but that's alright. Of course, I want to sit in the back middle, did not get that wet at all. So I'm going to head on over to Wodan next. I did see Bluefire running. I'm not sure if Wodan is, so I'm going to go check that out. Do you find it interesting that there are 2 mock ride water coasters here? I guess they make two different kinds of water coasters, so might as well put them both in their park. This, of course, Europa Park is owned by Mach. I think the only other one of these that I remember riding is one in SeaWorld San Antonio, if I remember correctly. And I did have a Zen ride on that, on my first ride. That was before I was doing POVs, though. Sad, lonely boat. It's actually a good time to ride right now, because it's barely drizzling. It's not cold at all. It's, I think, about 60 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's not too bad. A little bit on the chillier side, but not too bad. Anyway, I'm gonna head towards that GCI. That is Wodan Timber Coaster. Alright, it's time for some GCI goodness. Wodan.
Windeseile wird dieser Wagen euch durch die Lüfte tragen, eurem Schicksal entgegen.
For a front row ride on Wodan Timber Coaster. Wodan Timber Coaster. Hopefully the POV came out okay because it is still drizzling a little bit. That is a solid GCI. It's running 3 trains too. Fantastic. You can see the Titan track there in the whole pre-lift section, and Titan track there towards the end of the ride. I couldn't tell if there was much Titan track in the middle, but if there wasn't, it definitely doesn't need it because it was very smooth, very enjoyable, fantastic airtime. This is a great coaster. GCI. They know how to build them. So I'm gonna go back around for a second ride, this time a single rider ride on Wodan. Went through the main line for the front row ride, and it's a very long line. Like, you're winding up and down all around through caves and going upstairs, downstairs, and it's like why was it designed like that? I mean, it's very nicely themed, but yeah, if you're trying to like lap this at all, like it's probably like a 10-minute walk just to get to the station. So it's interesting design. Anyway, I'm heading back for a single rider ride, and maybe even a couple of them. This is a fantastic coaster. actually got 6 rides. So hope you guys enjoyed that montage. Finished with the back row ride. And as I was waiting for that last one, it looked like one of the trains was having issues, so they were sending that empty quite a few times. So I was down to 2 trains, and I took a look at the single rider line, and it was pretty backed up. It was like all the way down to the bottom of the stairs. Probably would have been about a 30-minute wait or so. So I will cut off the number of rides on Wodan at 6 for today. I'm gonna take a break, a little refreshment break, and then I'm gonna head on over to Bluefire next. Wodan, by the way, it's an excellent GCI. It's running extremely well today. First drop's fantastic. Get some great airtime all throughout. It's very smooth and comfortable. As pretty much almost all GCIs are, except for, of course, the ones that were converted into RMCs. Yeah, I'd put Wodan in like maybe the second tier of GCIs in the rankings. The first tier being Renegade at Valley Fair and Thunderhead at Dollywood. Second tier would be, I think, like this, Troy, Wickerman at Alton Towers, Prowler, Worlds of Fun, and Texas Stingray, and probably a few others. But yeah, it's definitely in that class. Excellent ride. And they take very good care of it here at the Europa Park. I don't know if they'll tighten track the whole thing. It's definitely not needed in the middle sections, at least for now. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get another ride in on it today. I might, I don't know, I'll decide later. But yeah, Bluefire will be next after I take a quick break. All right, break time is over. So how about some mega coaster goodness, Bluefire? So I'll start with the single rider line here. The regular queue doesn't look that long either, maybe 15-20 minutes. Yeah, let's have a ride here on Bluefire Mega Coaster. Just had a row 6 ride on Bluefire Mega Coaster. Such a fantastic ride. Very comfortable, just lap bars, over shoulder lap bars. Pretty powerful launch. Love the hang time on the vertical loop there, and then Mosasaurus like barrel roll at the end is fantastic. So I'm gonna go back around for a couple more rides at least from the single rider line, which actually only waited about 10 minutes, even though it was fairly long. They were kind of prioritizing it today. They really weren't the other day when I rode it a few times. The other day they were trying to match up odd number groups with each other, and then single riders are kind of the last resort. But it seems to be kind of the opposite today, so that's great. I'm gonna head on in and have a few more rides on this. Did do a front row ride the other day, so I'll actually put that in right now. So with that front row ride, actually had to wait in the regular line for that, and it was only about 15 minutes the other day, and then I waited maybe 6 trains or so for the front row. So I'm not sure how many single rider lines I'm gonna go for here, but as long as the line stays pretty short, I'll go for maybe at least 3 or 4. So enjoy the little montage. It is raining a little bit, it's drizzling, so I do apologize if anything gets on the lenses while I'm riding on POVs, but otherwise enjoy the montage.
Entschuldigung, jetzt haben wir ein Problem. Entschuldigung, jetzt haben wir ein Problem.
So I just got 5 more rides on Bluefire Mega Coaster, so that's 6 total for today. I actually finished up with a front row ride as well. And I didn't have to wait in the front row queue for, thankfully, which was actually pretty long. I actually looked over the front row queue and it was like probably at least 30 or 40 trains, maybe an hour or so wait, I'd say. Thankfully, I didn't have to do that. Got plenty of rides in. I think I was just missing 2 rows actually. Row 7 and row 8, not 6, 7. 7 and 8. Yeah, that's a fantastic ride. Do love it. Very smooth, very comfortable. Got 4 inversions, I believe, on it, with the best one being the last one, of course. And yeah, plan next is to probably grab something to eat, and I think I'll probably use the monorail to head back to the other side of the park and finish up some of the remaining rides that I have not done yet in these 2 vlogs. So that's what's coming up. All right, let's go for a ride on EP Express and head back to the front of the park, or the Germany area anyway. We're back at the main entrance plaza. Alright, how about a ride on a flying theater soaring over Europe? I mean, Voletarium. Let's have a ride. Voletarium. It's a fun flying theater. Obviously very similar to Soarin' rides at Disney. The seating arrangements are different though. At Disney you have kind of like the 3 levels and different sides. Here it's just one long continuous row all throughout the whole theater, which I think is actually a little preferable for me because that way you don't have like feet dangling above you if you're in like the middle or the bottom rows on the Disney rides. So yeah, it's very enjoyable. I always try and ride that at least once per visit. So still a few more rides that I want to do here. So I want to do, let's see, Volo da Vinci, Piccolo Mondo, the Ghost Train, the Europa Tower, I think it's called, the Observation Tower, and Madame Freudenreich's. So I think I'll start with Volo da Vinci. It should be right around the corner here in the Italy area. So I'm gonna do a ride I've never ridden before. Volo da Vinci. It's like, well, I'll show you. That's good timing. So I think if you pedal, you go faster. If you don't pedal, you go slow. Yes, they allow dogs in the park. You heard that. Yeah, this is kind of different here in Germany. They allow dogs, they allow smoking anywhere outside. I don't know if you guys watched my Fantasyland vlog from last year. I had like smoke being blown in my face, which I did not appreciate, but you know, I guess it's allowed here. So let's have a ride on Volo da Vinci anyway. Car ride? A lot of cute little rides in this area. we're back. Short but sweet. A lovely little ride on Volo da Vinci. So up next, I'm gonna head on over to the ghost train, or the Haunted Mansion, as I like to call it here. Right across from Volo da Vinci, Geisterschloss. Let's have a ride.
Lassen Sie uns die Vergänglichkeit Ihres Lebens feiern. Buonasera, siate benvenuti nel mio castello. Wie schön ist
At the end of the ride.
Auf Erde. Manifestier dich in Zeit, nimm an diesen Handel, was mein war.
Geisterschloss. It's slightly more terrifying than the Haunted Mansion, right? Actually, way more terrifying. I'm actually not going to call it Haunted Mansion Europe anymore because there's no pre-show. There's no elevator, just like what you would see at the Haunted Mansion. They used to have that. Maybe it's being worked on, I don't know. We're heading over here to another dark ride, Piccolo Mondo. Let's go for it. Piccolo Mondo. Piccolo Mondo. It's a cute dark ride, very short, but it's good. Back to the Geisterschloss. I mean, I don't speak or understand German, but I think at the end you kind of get sent to hell, it looks like. Just like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Anyway, right around the corner, my next attraction here, and that is the Euro Tower. So I'm gonna have a ride on this.
Irland, das war damals, glaube ich, gerade so am Aufbau. Das ist so der Kinderthemenbereich.
Die houten de horen we gehad, die bruine hebben we gehad, die bobslee hebben we gehad.
Is daar nog wel een?
Ja,
Als je plaats heeft.
Ik dacht, die eindigt niet in de water, maar die eindigt wel in de water.
Ja.
ja, best wel. Zij.
Ja, ik geef je toch gelijk.
Dat is best wel het die gaat echt kapot worden.
Oh, die is echt niet normaal.
Zal ik alles gaan zien of verschikken? Ja. So, Otto, Uli, jetzt Zeit, jetzt könnt ihr gleich gucken. Wo ihr übernachtet.
Ah, wel echt gaaf hoor.
Geen idee wat dieren Geen idee wat dieren dat kost gaan dan weer.
Ja, zo van die echt niet leuk. Dat is toch wel.
Treintje gaat ook recht op de
Ja.
Guck mal, in dem orangenen Haus da vorne, die wir nachher essen. Siehst du das geradeaus vor?
Nee, denk ik niet.
Hier so?
Wat is dat?
Da ist so ein blaues
Gewoon
Haus,
wit
dann
oranje,
weiß
wat
es
land
und
is
dahinter
dat?
ist ein orangenes.
Rosserij?
Ierland.
Ierland. Ah, Ierland is dat niks voor ons. Maar die zon is dat ook flink branden.
Aber ich habe nicht gesehen. Alte Zeug.
Maar hebben we alles leuk al gedaan.
Die ist wirklich schlimm voll von.
Awesome views of the whole park from the Euro Tower. There's one more ride that I have not ridden yet that I want to ride, and that is Madame Freudenreich's Dinosaur Birthday Party. Curiosities. That's in this direction here, next to Eurosat Can coaster. So I'm going to have a ride on that next.
für Dynamax auf Kita.
That was Madame Freudenreich. It's a cute ride. It's just a little confusing as to what's going on. It's throwing a birthday party for dinosaurs? Okay. It also reminded me a little bit of Jurassic Jungle boat ride, and I think that's what it was called, in Pigeon Forge. Now, this is way better than that boat ride, don't get me wrong. Quality's a lot better, but it just kind of gave off vibes of that ride. So there's just under 2 hours left in the park day, and well, these guys didn't realize I'm back at Silverstar. Gonna get a few rides on this, as well as maybe a few rides on Voltron, whatever I can squeeze in the next couple hours. So I'll put in a little montage of POVs for the last couple hours here. So enjoy.
Keep in line, there are other vehicles next to you. This is the formation lap. Use this moment to compose yourselves. Systems are running smoothly. All drivers on the track. The formation lap ends in a few seconds. The field is closed up. Other vehicles are close to you. Now, we're going to make a flying start. Time!
pouring. So got 3 rides on Silverstar and 1 ride on Voltron with the POVs. I did get a couple extra rides of Voltron. I don't know if the POVs survived, the glasses survived, but yeah, it started pouring before that ride on Voltron. So Voltron suddenly became a water ride. That was wild. Definitely one of the best rain rides I think I've ever had. Did not want to get up front though, so I was hoping and praying that as a single rider that they wouldn't put me up front, which they didn't. I got row 3 and row 4. It seems like you can't get through a single day without some sort of weather event happening. So anyway, that'll wrap things up here for day 2 at Europa Park. I hope you guys enjoyed my little tour of the park. This park is definitely worth planning a trip around, and definitely, I think, need multiple days to kind of get everything in. I know that may not be possible for a lot of people. Maybe just 1 day is possible. And you probably want to cram all the coasters in as much as you can, but there's way more to the park than just the coasters. There's a ton of dark rides, flat rides, shows, transportation rides. I mean, there's something here for everybody to enjoy. So I do hope you guys can get out here to check this out if you haven't already. Yeah, so that'll conclude my tour of Europa Park here in these vlogs. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. Thanks so much for sticking to the very end and catching the thunderstorm here. Up next in the next vlog is going to be a new park that I haven't been to before. It's not far from here. It's called Steinwassen Park. It's about an hour drive or so, hour and a half or so from here. They have like 3 or 4 coasters, so it'll be a pretty short vlog, but I'm also going to do some mountain coasters in the area, or at least one other mountain coaster in the area, so stay tuned for that. And then there will be one extra vlog coming from this park, Europa Park, and I'm going to try and do all 14 coasters in 1 day and see if it's possible. I think it is. I think it should be. If it is, kind of show you guys the strategies anyway on how to get all 14 coasters, if that's what you want to focus on. So stay tuned for that as well. So I'm signing off here from Europa Park, a rainy Europa Park. Take care, guys.